Greetings. This week we are listening to a string quartet by Franz Haydn. This piece of music, which is string quartet number 53, lovingly known as the Lark, was written in 1790. This was one of his later quartets. It was dedicated to a man named Joseph Tost, T-O-S-T, not T-O-A-S-T, that's a different guy. So Joseph Tost. Franz Joseph Haydn was given an honorary doctorate at the University of Oxford. This is usually something that is reserved for people that make a significant impact on the life of the institution or just society in general. And honorary doctorates are given out not very regularly, but when they are, it's a very high honor. So he got his from Oxford. Most of his life, Haydn was in the employ of the Esterhazy family. He was what we call a court composer. Their ruling families of Europe, there's really only 10 or 12 of them, and they were rather wealthy. So Haydn was hired as the court musician, and his job was to write music for whatever they needed. If they needed some background music for a dinner party, or if they were putting on a large state event where they were inviting another ruling house over, he'd be the one that would compose and organize all of the musical selections. And it was a big deal at the time. He worked there for quite some time. The last piece of music he wrote was his trumpet concerto, actually. He had many close friends all over Europe, specifically in Vienna. He was very good friends with a young man named Wolfgang Amadeus Mozart. He was also a teacher, and his prized pupil was this little upstart young guy who had a little trouble hearing named Ludwig von Beethoven. Franz Joseph Haydn also had a brother named Michael. Michael also became a famous composer, so it kind of ran in the family. Through the sheer amount of music that he wrote and the conventions that he used, things were kind of codified under his tutelage. He became known as the father of the string quartet. Some people also call him the father of the symphony because he kind of standardized the way symphonies are written. Very influential composer. Let's see. He was also the music he wrote at the time would be considered pop music. It was popular at the time. The author Jane Austen was a very big fan of Joseph Haydn's music. So while she was writing Pride and Prejudice and all these other things, his music was what was running through her head. He was also a devout Catholic. And living in Europe at the time, you were pretty much either Catholic or non-religious. There was some Lutheranism going on, yes, that is true, off in Germany and the Black Hills and all that. So we're going to listen to the first movement of the Lark string quartet. And if you listen, the first violin part is meant to emulate the sounds of a bird tweeting. Well, there we have a very good example of a classical string quartet. Next week, we shall look at the Hymn Song. Great tune by the American composer William Billings. So, see you then. Bye-bye.